Corporate Flight Management will be handling the actual flying portion of the new air service into the Pikeville Airport. The ticket sales, the marketing, the ground handling services are handled by public charter, and then we handle the physical flying, maintaining of the airplane, and the crewing of the aircraft. Well, we believe that connecting Pikeville to Nashville and all the airline resources in Nashville will both give people that are living in Pikeville a great way to get to the rest of the world, and vice versa. It's a great way for businesses to come to Pikeville. Corporate Flight Management's been in business since 1982. We operate thousands of flights a year. We are Argus Platinum rated. We've got a record with the FAA of no violations. All our aircraft are maintained above the FAA standard. This particular project is very unique. Most small communities in this country are either losing airline service, but they're definitely not getting any new airline service. What's unique about this is that we are doing a new service into the community, and this service is underwritten by local government, businesses, as well as the chamber. And that's really the first time that I've seen all this come together.
The air service coming into Eastern Kentucky, the first ever scheduled service with a daily round trip, access to 50 destinations with only one stop. It's really a game changer for the industry that's already in Eastern Kentucky. It gives them access to the global economy, as it's been a buzzword of late. This connects Pikeville to the rest of the world. It gives opportunity for local manufacturers to connect to new markets and new areas of the country. It gives opportunity for companies who want to do business in Pikeville with the growing healthcare industry and any of those industries that want to get in and market their products. It gives them access in. It just makes a seamless network, which in the end grows the economy and creates jobs, and that's really what this service is all about. There's a great flight down today. We got to fly on the actual plane that's going to be providing the service starting in April, and it was a great flight, a beautiful flight, hour and 15 minutes. Got to see the maintenance facility here at Corporate Flight Management. This is actually my second trip down to see their facility. It's unbelievable, the maintenance and the professionalism that's here at their headquarters, and to great, as they said, the vertical integration. They don't subcontract to maintenance their planes and upkeep. They do it all in-house, and it's a tremendous operation, and great to see that. I've met with several different business owners, and one small business owner, he's been working to, actually he's got a new product that he's wanting to sell, and he's been working with some potential clients in other countries and just getting those meetings together to make that happen and have that conversation and do visits. It's been really difficult to get people to come to see his business. So, just those little stories along the way, and then also small businesses that have vendors that sometimes can't get them to come in and see them because they're so out of the way that they have to fly in and drive 2.5 hours. It's a day trip just to make one visit, and it's a struggle to happen. And also in developments, with the things like the retail development that's happening in Pikeville, some of those investors in that project, if they want to stop by and see the progress, it's a challenge right now for them to do that. This completely changes all that. It takes another barrier to growth in Eastern Kentucky out of the way. So.
They're going to arrive here at either gate C13 or 14. They're going to deplane, and from that point they will be able to connect to any of the air carriers that serve this airport. There's about 50 nonstop destinations from here on a daily basis, and if they are planning to spend the day in Nashville, they'll be able to go get a rental car and go into town as with any other air service. We can certainly say that this service is going to give them a significant option for connectivity that they don't experience right now. It certainly will enhance the ability of the community to reach other destinations and most importantly to bring other people into the community of Pikeville to help with their long-term community and business development objectives.
As your viewers can imagine, whenever you do a project like this is a very complex project. A lot of different people, a lot of different companies involved, a lot of moving parts. Two issues came up that slowed us down a little bit, totally unforeseen. Number one, corporate flight management was in the process of getting what I'll call an upgraded operating certificate, which was going to enable it to provide the level of service that we are going to have on this particular route. That certificate was awarded by USDOT. They started their application process almost 3 years ago. It was due to have been finalized back last fall, but because of government sequestration, the federal government shutdown, everything got pushed back and slowed down to the point where they didn't get that until just about a week or so ago. So coupled with that, the airport identification code, which a lot of people know to be PBX, we had expected that we would be able to use that for the air service part of this operation, but unbeknownst to all of us, the International Clearinghouse that assigns all of the codes had previously assigned the PBX code for air service purposes to an airport in Brazil. And while we hope to resolve that, we were not able to do that, so we had to apply for a new code. And what normally takes 3 or 4 months, we were able to get done in 2 weeks. But because of all that, that pushed everything back a little bit, so we decided rather than jam everything through, let's do it on an orderly basis, and April 14th is the date we settled on. Tickets will go on sale on or about February 24th. We'll be speaking more with the community about that when we get to that point. Our new website for Appalachian Air will go live probably within the next week. And again, we'll make an announcement when that occurs, but that will have all of the information that people will need. It'll have a list of all the cities that you can fly to, the schedule, the ability to buy a ticket online, virtually everything that you would need. Also, there will be what we call a total trip cost calculator built into the website. So if people want to find out which is the airport that has the cheapest total cost to go, you'll be able to put in your airfare, say from Pikeville, compare it to what the airfare might be from Lexington or Charleston, and put where you're coming from, any of the 13 counties in the area that this airport will serve, and it will calculate within 5 seconds what your total trip cost will be, parking costs, driving costs, the cost of a hotel, if you have to go the night before, those types of things, and you'll easily see which airport offers the lowest cost trip, and we think in most instances it's going to be Pikeville.
Our company was founded in 1982. I've been here since day one. My father, who's an aviator, founded the company, and we started as an aircraft management company, and that's a picture of one of the airplanes that we originally started with. We're a diversified general aviation company. We do a lot of things, and when you think general aviation is the catch-all for flying airplanes. It includes everything but military and commercial airline, traditional commercial airlines. So we manage aircraft for businesses and high net worth individuals, corporate business, private aircraft. You've toured our maintenance facility today and seen, gotten a flavor of what we do in the maintenance end. We do on-demand charter. Traditionally, that's been with business type aircraft. FBO services, fixed based operation. When we flew in, you got off the airplane parked in front of our FBO. That is fueling and storage of aircraft, and you've got an FBO in Pikeville, so you know what that is. We've delivered aircraft worldwide. I think you asked about the clocks on the wall and why those names. Those are places we've delivered airplanes in a lot more countries, probably 25, 30 countries in the world. We've done aircraft deliveries. Some we've sold and some we've just delivered for various factories, for manufacturers. We sell airplanes, we sell parts. When you were in maintenance, you probably saw some of the things we do, and we do worldwide parts sales for the aircraft that we specialize in. We own a flight training school called Wings of Eagles, and we do defense logistics. We have contracts with the federal government, basically doing the same thing we do in private enterprise, but just for different agencies of the government, including the Department of Defense. Some of the other management that you may have run into some of them today. Ryan Donahue's our VP of Aircraft Maintenance. Did they meet Ryan while they were over on the other side? Martin Elson's our VP of Fleet Services. Both of those guys work in maintenance. Mark's job is supporting the aircraft that we fly. So he's looking internally and doing maintenance on the aircraft we fly, and Ron Donahue supports the aircraft that we maintain for other customers. We have retired Lieutenant Colonel Dan Feemster, who's over our Government Services Division. Penny Morrow is our controller. Dwayne McMurray is our VP of Flight Ops. He's standing in there today helping deal with our flight administration, and Tim Tomlinson is Director of Flight Ops. And those guys are in here dealing with weather, and we just got a request from a customer to go to Washington, D.C. Could we leave in 30 minutes and pick one person up and get them back here before they get snowed in? So that's an operational challenge of, can you deal with it in the weather? And that's what that group and the dispatch group in here works on a day-to-day basis. Just over 200 employees in all the different disciplines of aviation: pilots, mechanics, the dispatch scheduling group in here, the fixed-based operation line crews, the young people who service the aircraft and fuel, our accounting group. We have safety compliance group. Some of that is dealing with, we're a highly regulated, probably one of the most highly regulated industries, and so we have a group of people who make sure that we're in compliance with federal aviation regulations, but we also focus very seriously on safety, and we have a full-time director of safety in that group. Parts sales, and then we have the administrative group. That's all of us who are overhead. So two fixed-based operation locations, one here in Smyrna that you pulled up to, and the other one's on the west side of Nashville at the John C. Toon Airport. We have aircraft based in multiple locations in the U.S. The two main bases are here in the Nashville area, here in Smyrna and at John Toon Airport. We have an operation in Danbury, Connecticut, which is just outside of New York City. We have an operation in Birmingham, Alabama. We have an aircraft based in Bar Harbor, Maine. I guess Manistee, Michigan is not listed up there. And then we have aircraft based outside the U.S. right now, one in the Caribbean. We are Argus, real quick, just kind of Argus Platinum certified. Argus stands for Aviation Research Group U.S. They're an industry benchmarking company that audits companies like ours to make sure that we're operating safely and we have the right safety systems in place. Platinum certification is the highest ranking for Argus, and there's maybe less than 100 operators in the U.S. out of 2,000 charter operators with that rating. And so we're proud of that. We're also, ISBAO stands for International Standard for Business Aviation Operations. That's an international safety regulatory group. We voluntarily comply with that, and we get audited from these groups to make sure that we have the right safety systems in place, that we have internal audit systems, that we're doing things, and even though the FAA looks at us every day, that we're really doing things above and beyond what the regulations require to be a safe operator. We operate a very diversified fleet, and if you're a pilot or an aviation person, all those names mean something to you. We flew down in a Jetstream 32, and the 31 is very similar, and the 41 is the larger version, 29-seat version. And then if you go down through Citation, Bombardier, Embraer, Hawker, Falcon, Westwind, Challenger, those are all different business jet aircraft. We're the largest operator of business aviation aircraft, with the exception of maybe South Florida and the southeastern U.S. So we have a very diverse fleet of aircraft that not just regional airline, but also business jet aircraft. We have had a contract with the Army. We supported out of Fort Campbell. We supported the 117th Special Operations Unit up there with aircraft charter for 3 years. We currently have a Department of Forestry contract. We'll fly firefighters. We don't drop chemicals and fly over the fires, but we'll move firefighters around the country. We have a contract with the state of Tennessee. It's our school bus, the same airplane that you flew on today. on Sundays and Fridays, we'll go over to East Tennessee, pick up a load of kids and take them home to West Tennessee. And then on Sunday afternoons, we go pick them up and take them back to school. It allows the state of Tennessee to shut down the Tennessee School for the Deaf over the weekend and let those kids go home and spend time with their parents. So in essence, we're just operating a school bus on Friday afternoons and Sunday afternoons.
One that's not on there is the Department of Justice, Bureau of Prisons.
Okay.
Doing prison.
So we move school kids and we move prisoners. That's a whole different, hopefully the first don't become the second. We're GSA approved. That's a federal purchasing authority that's operated by the government, so that various government agencies have it's kind of like a Government Services Administration. So we publish our rates and we go through the vetting of that, so that if a federal agency needs to charter an aircraft, they can go through the GSA and buy aircraft charter from us. Certified by the Department of Agriculture, and currently working on the United Nations certification. Some of our customer base, we've done a lot of flying for the country music industry with our private aircraft, and being here in Music City. We've flown NASCAR teams. We do a lot of NCAA sports teams. I don't know, probably named some of the universities.
We talked about that this morning.
Did you? Okay. University of Alabama, Birmingham, we're flying right now, and in the same airplanes, and especially the 30-seater, we do a lot of basketball teams, and it's moving athletes so they have less time out of school. We've done a lot of work with major companies. One of them located here on the field is Nissan. Nissan's a big customer of ours. They have their own flight department, but they use our airplanes for supplemental lift. And Bridgestone is another one, that's based here, and their manufacturing facility is right up the road, and their U.S. headquarters is here in Nashville. So we do work for them. Work for a lot of the national charter brokers around the country, and then one of our areas is we fly wealthy people and private aircraft. Some of the corporate shuttles we've done, and when we say corporate shuttle, GlaxoSmithKline was one of those. Glaxo Wellcome merged with SmithKline Beecham. They had an operation in Philadelphia. They had an operation in Raleigh-Durham, and they had 20,000 people at each location. Basically, for them, for a period of 3 years, we set up an internal airline where we flew people back and forth between Philadelphia and Raleigh-Durham, and we just had airplanes going back and forth every day. It was cheaper for them and much more convenient than using the airline system. So we call that corporate shuttle, and we've done that for Hovenza out of the Caribbean, Nissan, currently doing one for Bridgestone. We've done a corporate shuttle for Norfolk Southern. Some of the Part 380 public charter we've run for Branson Air Express for the Branson Airport. Social flights from here to Knoxville. Currently flying Manistee, Michigan to Chicago Midway. Of course, Appalachian Air is the future. And then e-vacations, we're running a route out of San Juan to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic this summer. And that one we've had no trouble getting pilots to volunteer to fly. So I think everybody wishes it was flying right now. We're a FAA authorized repair station. Part 145 is the regulation that regulates aircraft maintenance, and you've toured our facility there. We're also authorized by EASA, which is the European Aerospace Agency. It's basically Europe's version of the FAA. So we can perform maintenance here on European registered aircraft. We're approved by the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms. We're a licensed arm dealer. That sounds exciting. It just has to do with a ballistic system that's on, parachute system that's on small aircraft, on the Cirrus aircraft. So we'd like to say we're guns dealers, but we're really not. We're certified to do major structural composite, and also I think you probably toured through some of the shops where we do a hydraulic overhaul for landing gear, and there's a lot of parts of the airplane that we're certified to overhaul. We do commuter maintenance, meaning we maintain the airplanes that you fly on, and we're one of the top maintenance facilities in the world for this type of aircraft. And those are some of the countries of operators that have done and continue to do maintenance for. We're factory authorized service center for the Cirrus aircraft, which is this aircraft, and it's the aircraft with a parachute system on it, and has a little rocket in the back, and if the engine quits, you pull the cord and the parachute comes out and the airplane floats down. We're a Diamond authorized service center. We maintain our in-house flight school aircraft, a big retail maintenance facility, and we also do post-accident support for insurance companies. We'll go retrieve airplanes and pull them out of the ditch. We do major avionics work. When the airplane you flew on today was going through refurbishment, it got upgraded avionics, and we have the capability of basically rebuilding the instrument panel and putting up newer generation avionics. And we sell what we fly. So we've sold and delivered airplanes worldwide, as I stated earlier, and commuter aircraft, the British Aerospace Jetstream, but also we sell a lot of aftermarket corporate jets and turboprops.